Most people picture presidents rolling in boring black limos, but some global leaders have a unique taste of extravagance. From royal Bentleys to Russian tanks in disguise, these 10 presidential cars redefine what luxury with firepower really looks like. 10. King Charles III Bentley State Limousine. When you're the King of England, you don't just ride in any Bentley, you ride in the Bentley. Built by Bentley in 2002 to mark Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee, the state limousine is so rare that only 2 exist, and both remain in the royal fleet. That alone makes it priceless. But the engineering and customization push it into another league. The car was purpose-built for royal duties. Its roofline is higher than a normal Bentley, its doors open wider, and the rear seats are elevated so the monarch can wave gracefully while stepping out. That's not vanity, it's protocol. Underneath, it carries a 6.75-liter V8 engine, tuned for smooth, commanding rides through processions. But don't be fooled by the stately elegance. This car is more fortress than fairy tale. It has Kevlar-reinforced tires, an armored fuel tank, blast-resistant chassis, and an airtight cabin to protect against chemical attacks. In short, it's the James Bond of limousines, disguised as a moving throne. And true to royal tradition, Charles's garage is strictly British Jaguar XJs, Range Rovers, and this Bentley crown jewel. It's heritage on wheels. A car that carries not just a monarch but centuries of symbolism. But while Charles rides in a rolling palace, Russia's president prefers something that looks like a luxury sedan but drives more like a 7-ton tank. 9. Vladimir Putin, Aurus Senat. If the Bentley was designed to be regal, Putin's Aurus Senat was designed to be intimidating. At 22 feet long and weighing nearly 7 tons, this Russian-built monster makes a Cadillac Escalade look like a compact car. Built entirely in Russia to cut reliance on German imports, it's as much a geopolitical statement as it is a vehicle. Inside, it feels like a private jet cabin. Reclining airline-style seats, massage functions, folding tables, privacy curtains, massive screens, and interiors lined with real Russian wood and leather. This is not your average limousine. It's a mobile office, spa, and war room rolled into one. Performance-wise, the Senat surprises. Despite its weight, the 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 hybrid co-developed with Porsche delivers 660 horsepower, launching it to 60 miles per hour in about 12 seconds. Not sports car fast, but considering it's armored like a tank, that's no small feat. And speaking of armor, the Senat is practically indestructible. Its bulletproof glass can stop sniper rounds. Its floor can take landmine blasts. It has run-flat tires, an armored fuel tank, and even an onboard air filtration system for chemical attacks. There's a secret rear escape hatch too, in case Putin ever needs a quick exit. It debuted during Putin's 2018 inauguration, cementing its place as part of his power image. Today, a civilian version exists, but make no mistake, the presidential Aurus remains the ultimate rolling fortress. And while Putin's limo is designed to stand out, Australia's Prime Minister rides in something far subtler, a car that looks like a regular BMW until you realize the doors weigh as much as a fridge. 8. Anthony Albanese, BMW 7 Series Commonwealth 1. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese doesn't cruise in anything flashy. In fact, at first glance, his official car nicknamed Commonwealth 1 looks like a perfectly ordinary BMW 7 Series. And that's the point. It blends in, a wolf in sheep's clothing, but once you get closer, the secrets start to show. Each window weighs 150 kilograms, made of ballistic glass thick enough to shrug off high-powered rifle shots. The doors? 250 kilograms each, so heavy they can be used as portable shields in emergencies. Beneath the sleek shell is a steel cocoon layered with 10 centimeters of overlapping armor plating. The fuel tank is explosion-proof, the chassis reinforced, and there's even a fire suppression system on board. And the tech doesn't stop there. The car carries its own sealed oxygen supply in case of a gas attack, lasting for up to 2 hours. Hidden compartments reportedly hold defensive weapons, and the ventilation system automatically switches modes if sensors detect toxins in the air. Think of it as a BMW that doubles as a panic room on wheels. Under the hood, it's powered by a 6-liter V12 engine with more than 600 horsepower, getting this 3.7-ton beast from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just over 6 seconds. That's quicker than most SUVs, despite carrying more armor than some military vehicles. To handle it, Drivers undergo specialized training with BMW practicing evasive maneuvers, high-speed counterattacks, and tactical driving. Because driving the Prime Minister isn't about comfort, it's survival. The Albanese rolling in stealth mode is surely impressive. But the Amir of Qatar prefers the opposite approach, making sure his car is so long, it practically announces royalty before he even steps out. 7. Emir of Qatar. Bentley Mulsanne Grand Limousine. For the Emir of Qatar, simply arriving isn't enough. The man has to arrive with a convoy that turns heads before he even steps out. And his weapon of choice? The ultra-rare Bentley Mulsanne Grand Limousine, a stretched masterpiece from Bentley's bespoke Mulliner division. At 21.6 feet long, this thing is basically a rolling boardroom on steroids over a meter longer than a standard Mulsanne. Inside, the seating is club-style, which means 6 passengers sit face-to-face like it's a royal poker game. To keep it discreet, the windows feature electrochromic glass transparent, 1 second, completely opaque the next, at the push of a button. The details scream Gulf royalty, handcrafted veneers, leather so soft it probably has its own security detail, hidden compartments for whatever billionaires like to hide, and of course, champagne coolers. Powering this stretched palace is Bentley's signature 6.75 liters twin-turbo V8, smooth, refined, and still muscular enough to haul around the world's most spoiled entourage. And exclusivity. Let's just say you're more likely to spot a unicorn than one of these. Only a handful exist, and sightings usually involve Monaco boulevards, flanked by police motorcycles, the kind of entrance that says, yes, the oil money is real. Next up on our list is Cameroon's Paul Biya, who has a ride that hides its muscle behind the unassuming face of a family SUV. 6. Paul Biya Vertical Bar Range Rover Sentinel. Paul Biya, the longtime president of Cameroon, in office since 1982, yes, that's over 40 years, is not exactly known for flamboyance. Which is why his car of choice, the Range Rover Sentinel, fits him perfectly. From the outside, it looks like a regular luxury SUV, the kind you'd spot in any wealthy neighborhood. But beneath that polished British shell lies a fortress. This Sentinel is armored to VR8 standards, which basically means it can take a barrage of 7.62mm rifle rounds and even survive a 15-kilo TNT blast under its chassis. That's not luxury, that's battlefield engineering disguised in leather seats. Run-flat tires keep it moving even if shredded, while its armored fuel tank and tamper-proof exhaust make sabotage nearly impossible. Inside, though, it's still a Range Rover, plush leather, a serene cabin, and that commanding SUV presence. Except here, those serene doors weigh a small ton, layered with 6 levels of ballistic steel. Power comes from a modest 3.0-liter V6 with 340 horsepower. It's not breaking land speed records, but the point isn't speed, it's making sure the president always makes it to his next appointment alive. In many ways, the Sentinel mirrors Biya's leadership style: quiet, understated in public, but surrounded by layers of protection. It blends into the scenery, and that's exactly what makes it so effective. And speaking of blending in, France's Emmanuel Macron takes it even further, choosing not just a discreet car, but one that doubles as a PR stunt for his eco-friendly political brand. 5. Emmanuel Macron, DS7 Crossback Élysée. Most leaders opt for armored tanks on wheels. Emmanuel Macron, though, rolls up in a hybrid. Yes, the French president's official state car is the DS7 Crossback Élysée, a stretched, customized plug-in hybrid designed by DS Automobiles specifically for the Élysée Palace. On paper, it doesn't sound like a head-turner. A 300-horsepower plug-in hybrid with a petrol engine and 2 electric motors, capable of doing about 58 kilometers in pure electric mode. But that's the point. Macron wanted a vehicle that embodies France's green diplomacy, projecting modern leadership rather than brute intimidation. It's as much about optics as it is about security. The car itself has been heavily reworked. A longer wheelbase allows for a luxurious rear cabin, where 2 reclining leather chairs face a central console fitted with wireless charging, ventilation, and encrypted communication systems. 20-inch alloys carry the armored shell, and beneath the sleek bodywork is a reinforced chassis designed to withstand the usual threats: ballistic attacks, explosives, you name it. The interior reflects minimalist French design, clean lines, quiet luxury, no over-the-top displays. It's understated but polished, perfectly in line with Macron's image as a reformist who's pushing France into a more sustainable future. Sure, he may not have the most intimidating car on the global stage, but that's the charm. The DS7 says, "We're modern, we're innovative, and we're doing this the French way." But subtlety has its limits. While Macron goes green, our next leader prefers black, rolling up in a car so imposing, it's practically a moving fortress of German engineering. 4. Kim Jong-un vertical bar, Mercedes-Maybach S600 Pullman Guard. For a man whose country is sanctioned up to its eyeballs, Kim Jong-un sure knows how to get his hands on toys the rest of the world isn't supposed to see. His favorite? A stretched 21-foot Mercedes-Maybach S600 Pullman Guard, basically a mobile fortress that also doubles as a luxury lounge. On paper, it shouldn't even be in Pyongyang. UN sanctions explicitly ban the export of luxury goods like this, but somehow Kim's convoy rolls through the streets in gleaming German engineering. Smuggling? Diplomatic loopholes? All we know is that when you're a dictator with nuclear leverage, the rules bend around you. Inside, the Maybach is peak paradox. White leather upholstery, polished wood trim, ambient mood lighting, and conference-style seating where Kim can hold court mid-drive. Under the hood sits a 5.5 liters twin-turbocharged V12 engine producing 517 horsepower, more than enough to move this steel-clad monster with surprising smoothness. But the real story is the armor. The S600 Pullman Guard carries VR9 certification, meaning it can withstand high-caliber rifles, grenades, and blasts without flinching. Combine that with its near-mythical procurement and you get the ultimate statement. A leader whose people live in scarcity, but whose ride is the definition of excess. And if Kim's car is a rule-breaking statement, Joe Biden's ride is the opposite, a car that is the rule, the most famous presidential vehicle in the world. 3. Joe Biden vertical bar Cadillac, the Beast. You can't talk about presidential cars without mentioning the one everyone knows. The Beast. That's the nickname for the Cadillac limo built exclusively for the U.S. president, and Joe Biden rides in the latest iteration of this 20,000-pound rolling bunker. At first glance, it looks like a stretched Cadillac sedan, but the truth is closer to a tank in a tuxedo. Beneath the body lies a GMC Topkick truck chassis, beefed up with armor plating so thick the doors are as heavy as those on a Boeing 757. The windows? 5 inches of bulletproof glass. The tires? Kevlar-reinforced run flats, mounted on steel rims so the car can keep moving even if shredded. And that's just scratching the surface. Inside, the cabin is hermetically sealed against chemical or biological attacks, with its own oxygen supply. The trunk carries everything from tear gas launchers to shotguns, and even bags of the president's blood type for emergency transfusions. That's not luxury, that's apocalypse prep. It reportedly costs around $600,000, but the symbolism is priceless. When the Beast rolls up, it isn't just ferrying a man, it's carrying the image of U.S. power, resilience, and excess security. And because it's America, of course it comes in a fleet. Biden's motorcade often includes multiple decoys, making it nearly impossible to tell which beast the president is actually riding in. But while the Americans build tanks disguised as Cadillacs, India went for something sleeker yet even more blast-proof. A Maybach so over-armored it basically laughs at TNT. 2. Narendra Modi, Mercedes-Maybach S650 Guard. Narendra Modi doesn't just sit in luxury, he sits in the most armored civilian car money can buy. His Mercedes-Maybach S650 Guard holds a VR10 protection, rating the highest available for civilian vehicles anywhere in the world. So what does VR10 actually mean? It means the car can withstand direct hits from armor-piercing rifles and survive a 15-kilo TNT explosion at just 2 meters away. That's not a limo, that's a bunker with leather upholstery. The windows alone are explosion-resistant, and the fuel tank is self-sealing to avoid fireballs from attacks. Underneath the armor, though, it's still a Maybach. A 6-liter twin-turbo V12 engine produces 650 horsepower, giving it surprising speed and acceleration for a car that weighs like a tank. Inside, Modi enjoys the kind of refinement that defines Maybach: reclining leather seats, whisper-quiet cabins, and fresh-air circulation systems designed to pump in oxygen in case of chemical gas attacks. The price tag sits around $1.6 million, though whispers suggest India got a better deal thanks to some very strategic billionaire diplomacy. Symbolically, this ride is perfect for Modi. Elite German engineering meeting India's need for uncompromising protection in a volatile neighborhood. And yet, even Modi's Maybach is available at a price. The world's most exclusive presidential car, however, isn't sold at all. And for that, we head to Beijing. 1. Xi Jinping, vertical bar Hongqi N501. While most leaders borrow from Rolls-Royce, Cadillac, or Mercedes, Xi Jinping pulls up in something you'll never find in a showroom, the Hongqi N501. Hongqi, which literally means red flag, is China's oldest luxury automaker, but this particular model is built exclusively for the state. Translation: unless you're the Chinese president, you're never getting near one. The N501 is designed to be equal parts luxury sedan and political statement. Its styling is unmistakably grand, and one 8-foot-long frame, massive chrome grille, an upright stance that channels old-school Rolls-Royce prestige but with a distinctly Chinese identity. Under the hood, a turbocharged V8 delivers around 400 horsepower and enough range to cover roughly 500 miles without stopping. Exact protection specs are classified, because of course they are. But reports confirm the car is heavily armored against both bullets and blasts. Inside, Xi rides in a suite-like cabin with secure communication systems, plush seating, and all the privacy he needs to conduct state business on the move. But here's the kicker. The N501 isn't just about personal safety. It's a rolling symbol of China's self-sufficiency, projecting a narrative that Beijing doesn't need Western engineering to protect its most powerful man. When Xi's motorcade rolls out with military plates and Hongqi flags, it isn't just a leader arriving, it's a superpower announcing itself. And that's the crown jewel, the world's most exclusive presidential car, a symbol not just of wealth or safety, but of national pride.